Hi guys, I'm your host Abby McCracken, and this is The Table Unfiltered, and I have a special guest with me today. We've tried to record this video. Literally, this is the third day in a row. I've never had a video where I've had to try to edit them, or it just turns off. Like, literally everything that could go wrong has gone wrong. And I feel like because of the content, and I'm not one of those people that says there's a demon hiding behind every corner, or it's all spiritual warfare, but I think with the content of this video, it's been hard. Yeah, it's been hard. So my special guest is my mom, Pastor Jeff's wife. She has so many titles, the Queen of Deliverance. So most people don't know who you are. So do you want to just kind of share who you are, what you do, just kind of give them a little view, intro of who you are.
Yeah. Behind the curtain.
Yeah.
So I'm Roxanne McCracken. I'm mom.
Yeah.
It's my fault. Not really. It's my dad's. But no. Let's see. I'm wife, mother, all those things. I love to say I'm one of those who came out of the womb saved. I've always known Jesus, loved Jesus, but that doesn't mean I've always loved him the way I love him now. Mm-hmm. You know, there's growth that comes with age. And like so many, I can't tell you how many times I probably got saved in high school or, recommitted myself along the way. But here I am. So for the church and for what we do here, co-founder of the school.
Our school, NWSSM.
I teach as needed in the school. But on an offshoot of the school, I started our Deliverance school because it was a need.
Yeah.
We found a need there. It doesn't make me any more special than anyone else. I just, saw a need, filled the need, felt called to it. So that's what I did.
Yeah. So do you want to explain kind of what your Deliverance school is? A lot of people who watch may not be familiar with the words or the culture that we use Deliverance as, because our culture here at our church, and we've imparted in our ministry school and kind of everywhere we've gone, because when we go into other churches, like somebody will manifest or whatnot when we're ministering, and how my mom, Pastor Roxanne, does it, people are like, whoa, that's not like the Exorcist movie or this, that, the other thing. And so our culture here is that Deliverance isn't this crazy thing. It's actually just like getting your car worked on. Like, you need the oil change, you need tune-ups, you need all that stuff. That's a part of the walk of Christ.
It is. So, like Abby brought up, the Exorcist, most of us, when we hear deliverance, it doesn't always have the greatest connotations. We've seen those movies, or we've seen those videos, or we've watched that reel, and you're like, that is scary, that is insane, and I want nothing to do with that. Amen, me too. Don't want anything to do with that, because that's not the nature of my God.
Yeah.
He's not going to humiliate someone to bring freedom to their life. I mean, seriously, that's just like a narcissistic, ugly relationship, and that is not the characteristics of Jesus. It's not the characteristics of anyone you'd want to willingly serve, right? But I'm not saying there isn't ugly deliverance. Sometimes, there's things you deal with that you're like, wow, that was insane. But Jesus was moved with compassion on people. He served people in a way of love, honor, respect. Mm-hmm. He came at it never to humiliate them, never to leave them in shame, never to, leave them worse than he found them, but to just come and say, you know what? Hey, what you're dealing with right there, you don't have to walk in that. Mm-hmm. This is how I see you in that. The Father is so gracious and he's so loving and so kind to go, hey, that thing that you see yourself this way, that's just a lie, and let's reveal the truth to it, and let's get that taken care of so you can walk out that area of your life as a whole, your whole life with the plans and the purpose I have for you. You don't have to live locked up in the lie, but you can walk out in freedom. And that's one of the biggest things for me. I don't want, when you've come through Deliverance school, I mean, I hate even calling it deliverance school. It is kind of I like to say freedom. Because, freedom. Hello. Christ came to set us free.
Yes.
Of so many things. And there's just things in our life we need to be free from.
Yes.
They're not bringing life, so we need to be free from them.
Yeah. And it could be as simple as a small lie that you've carried with you your whole life.
You build a foundation on it.
We've seen all the scales from the most horrific thing to the smallest little lie that's kept somebody entangled for years.
Their life.
Yeah.
And they built it's become so foundational to who they are. That's how they see everything from that lie. It could be like you were worthless, and some teacher said that to you, or you are never going to, and way back, and you have built a life on top of that.
An empire around a lie.
A lie. And it's like, well, wait a minute. What does the Lord say about that? Mm-hmm. And it's bringing the truth to the lies to dispel that lie so you can walk out the freedom of what the Lord would have for you. And not just the freedom that He has for you, but the freedom He paid for.
Come on.
It is ours.
Yeah, come on.
It is ours to freely take hold of. The finished work of the cross tells me it was finished.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that it's been enforced. So, part of what I do is help people realize, hey, that's the finished work of the cross. This is yours.
Yeah.
Take hold of it.
Yeah, that's good.
And that's part of the whole.
Yeah, so if you guys have been anywhere around our church, my dad, me, we've literally preached this all over the world. The Greek word for salvation, that's translated for salvation, but for 7 things in total, used 206 times in the New Testament. The Greek word sozo, S-O-Z-O, which was the ministry that you kind of started out with.
Yeah.
But sozo, the fullness of what Jesus paid for on the cross that most believers aren't walking in. It's saved, healed, delivered, provision, protection, power, and authority. Okay. And most people stop at salvation when we get into the church. We have our ticket to heaven. We are good to go. We've gone into Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. We have the golden ticket and we're good. But we stop at that. And so we live in a place of we have our ticket for someday, but we're walking around as trash today, as orphans today, which the whole purpose of you starting, I would say even our ministry school, the whole purpose of it was so that people wouldn't just live the normal life. We would actually live the kingdom life. And when you live the kingdom life, you don't look like a citizen of hell. You look like a kingdom citizen.
If we look at it this way, if heaven is the government, right? Yeah. And then you kind of think of earth as the embassy. Well, we're ambassadors. Yeah. So we're ambassadors. And we really should look like the kingdom we come from. Yeah. Where are we coming from? And, you would never walk around a third of who you are. Yeah. We got saved. Great. But we are body, soul, and spirit. Yeah. Deliverance, it sounds all scary sometimes, but really it's just a part of healing. Yeah. It's the other side of the coin. Good. So, when we're saved, our spirit is made whole. Yes. When we go to someone with physical healing, their physical body is made whole. Yes. What about your soul? Yeah. Body, soul, and spirit. Our soul, mind, emotions, and will. Yeah. There are things that we go through that affect our mind. They affect our emotions. And it's really affect who we are deep within us that we need made whole. We need to lay them down at the cross in exchange for what the blood says over us. Yeah. Not what we're holding on to that, Great Aunt Tula Bell said when we were 2. Mm-hmm. It's, that thing you went through that wounded you deeply, or even the traumas of life. The traumas of life. You could have had a terrible accident. Yes, your body's been whole. It's so far gone. It was so long ago. But there's something in you that now, when you hear a screech of a tire, you're afraid. Or, you hear that sound and it like grips you. You can be whole of that. Yeah. You don't have to walk in that. That's not normal.
Taught that that's normal. That's not normal.
Think about what the world says is normal now. Yeah. Anxiety, depression, fear. Those are not attributes of the kingdom. Yeah. Those are not normal.
Yes. I was thinking about, like, well, as you were talking, like, being a young person and just, like, watching, TV and, celebrities and whatnot. There's a lot of different celebrities that are coming out now, and they have autoimmune diseases, and they've tried cures in every way possible. Doctors can't figure it out, but all of it, and the doctors have figured out not the necessarily, they figure out the root but not the solution, and I believe the solution is Jesus. I believe that's the only solution is Jesus. But they've realized the root is the trauma that happened to them as children, and it's engraved in their soul, and it's manifesting itself through their bodies.
I mean, even the word tells us bitterness dries up the bones.
Yeah.
And yes, that's unforgiveness. But what about those other things that are in you?
Yeah.
It's going to affect you.
Yes.
And science has figured that one out. That the things of this life do affect who we are.
Yeah.
They come out through our skin, or people start losing hair because they're so stressed out, or all those things. Well, all we're doing in deliverance is bringing the answer. Yeah. And it's always Jesus. It's always truth. What does he say? Who does he say you are? And
it's literally a part of, like, what as Christians we're supposed to do. We're supposed to raise the dead, heal the sick, cast out demons. And so a part of that is delivering people. It's bringing the original design. That's why I love so much about prophecy, is everywhere we go, and I love seeing our ministry school students, people just come into our church for the first time, and we operate in this because we're taking a person and we're just bringing the original design of Christ. And it's not just for a prophetic word, but healing. We're bringing back the original design of Christ. Deliverance, it's the original design of Christ, and it's like the best thing in the world, because when somebody understands who they are and what they're made for, and they're operating in their original design, all hell can't stop them. That's the reality. All hell can't stop them. And so that's kind of just the whole gist of why you started the school, is because you don't want it to be the Roxanne show. You want to raise up people.
Because really, I can only help so many people. Yeah. I can physically only touch so many people. But if, it's just like one man had 12 and he changed the world. Yeah. And
then those 12...
had how many more?
Multiplied.
That is that is a key to the kingdom. It's multiplication. So if I could train up 12, 20, 25, how many, then they, are able to help how many? Yeah. It's multiplication.
And their family lines are forever shifted.
Everything's changed when you have this understanding, or, you go take someone through a deliverance session. I will, they can come back as many times as they need to, but really they don't come back much, because once we've walked through all the steps and they have this understanding of how to do things, and oh wait a minute, I can sit down and talk to the Father myself and ask him these questions myself. When something feels a little off in me, why did I react that way to that person? I can ask the questions. So now I know how to boldly go to the throne room and get the answer I need. So I can make myself, understand what was going on and come back into the alignment with what the Father says about me. And to think about what, then someone comes to you, you don't have to say, oh, wait a minute, you're going to have to go see Roxanne. No, they can go, oh, wait a minute, I know how to help you right now. Yeah. Even last night and Wednesday night, so it's Thursday, last night was Wednesday night adult class for church, and we were talking on the different, how to warfare. How to do it well. And that kind of sounds scary. Spiritual warfare does sound scary. But really, last night we just talked about it. All it really is, ground level spiritual warfare, is helping the person in front of you. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. For whatever the tool you need at that moment. Do they need healing? Pray for physical healing. Are they anxious? Pray for peace. Yeah. Whatever the tool belt you have, use the tool you have and just pray for the person in front of you. Yeah. We make it so massive and huge, and it doesn't need to be that way.
And we make it about titles and who can and can't win. That's actually not what Jesus said.
No.
He never brought people to the table and said, okay, it's just me and you. No, he said, hey, Peter, I want you to go do this. Hey, Paul, I want you to go do this.
And he gave us, right there, he's heading out. And what does he say? Go into all the world. Yeah. It wasn't, you with titles and run churches go into all the world. Yeah. No, it was go.
Yeah.
And it's for everybody, whatever your go looks like. Your go may be your neighbor. Your go may be your family. Your go may be the people that you work with. But we are called to go.
Yeah. It's freely we've received, so we freely give. That's the whole point of the original vision of this is we can't just sit at the table. We can't just sit at churches and just become gluttons of the Spirit of God. We've each received something. And until you receive something, like if you're in the process that you do need deliverance, sign up, go through it, go through the school, whatever. But when you receive it, then you can give it away.
Yeah.
And that's the whole point of this, is that we wouldn't just stay content with just the same old check the box type of thing until we get to heaven. There's so much more. There's a greater kingdom, and there's greater opportunities in the kingdom when we receive and then we give.
Yeah. Could you imagine? I mean, just a little visual. My mind goes places. But if we just sat at the banqueting table of the Lord and we start looking like Jabba the Hutt. I mean, come on. We've all seen
She's also never seen any of these, so this is literally...
Okay. So, okay. But if we all look like Jabba the Hutt, are you coming back for that bride?
No.
I mean, really, think about it. That's the ugliest slug-looking thing you've ever seen. But, we as a society have really gotten, especially in the Western church, because we have so many options.
Yeah.
We medicate our demons, and we just run to the doctor. We do all kinds of things.
We get another prophetic word, actually.
Oh, yeah, that's true. We just get another prophetic word because you didn't do anything with the last one.
Yeah.
But you just grab another one because maybe you didn't like what the last one said. Yeah. But because it took, it took some effort on your part. Oh, that was a little sarcasm. Sorry. But, we sit at this table and we're feasting and feasting and feasting. Eventually you have to stop because you get to that point, you've taken so much in. That's like, you've taken so much in. There's way too much to give out, but half of it has just become waste.
Yeah, and you've never let it process.
You haven't processed anything. That's like, I love a good conference, like anybody, but it can become a culture in your life that you're just going from conference to conference to conference to conference. What are you doing with it?
Yeah.
Who are you helping with it?
Yeah.
Information is just information. Mm-hmm. Knowledge is something you use. Mm-hmm. And we've become a society of information, especially a church culture of information, but because it's available everywhere. But we're not using knowledge. It's for the lack of knowledge my people perish.
Yeah.
You need to take that in, process it, not just hear it in your head, but get it into your heart and do something with it, because it's not just for you.
Yeah.
It's for the people in front of you. It's that one person in front of you that needs ministered to.
And it's usually the person that annoys you the most, to be honest.
It really is.
That person that, rubs you the wrong way. Honestly, I've learned, and I'm not saying I'm the queen of ministry or anything like that, but I've realized, especially in the last year, the more people annoy me, the more God has called me to them. And there's something, why did they annoy me? And I have to take it to the Father. Mm-hmm. Why is that annoying me? Oh my gosh, I have the solution. I literally have the solution. You have the solution, or it's a weakness in you that you haven't dealt with. It's one of those things we push so far back. You're like, I would never in a million years act like that. Well, at one time you did. Yeah. You've matured beyond it, but it's still a characteristic you haven't dealt with in yourself. Mm-hmm. And I remember one time, my sister, and I've probably said it on here before, but there was somebody that really irritated her, and she just complained. And one day I was like, hey, you know what? That person you despise so much, you act exactly like them. Oh. She goes, no, I don't. And then I started explaining. I was like, you do that same thing. Maybe you're 2 pages ahead, but you still do those same things. And she's like, well, she didn't get happy in the moment, but then she came back and she's like, she didn't process it. That's so true. And so then it changed how she even operated with that person. And her and that person are amazing today. And they've been able to minister and grow together. Mm-hmm. Because of that. Instead of, just cutting that person off from your life going, ugh, there's nothing I can get from you. It's mature. Mm-hmm. Because then you come to that place of going, oh, wait a minute, that is an attribute of me. I need to work on that in me. So then you can actually
work together. It's maturity, because who knows what down the future what the Lord has for them together.
Yeah.
But you got to get to be able to work together.
So, I ask everybody this. You're only the second person guest, but I will ask everybody this when they come on. We're going to do a two-parter because I have two special questions, but only one we can answer on this one, and then we will record another one and do it. And we've already done this multiple times, like I said. Yeah. But each time we actually share something different, so I'm curious to see what happens.
Yeah.
But this third time the charm. So, since this whole thing is about the table, can you think of something in Scripture or in your walk with Jesus, not... the next question will be kind of more that side, but like more of a table where Jesus like has transformed you, has influenced you. It could be something that's really painful for you to like receive, but like what is something when you look at Scripture that you're like, oh my gosh, yeah, like that's the table.
Wow. Okay. Well, let's see what we talk about this time.
Yeah. We've already done it twice, and there's two different answers. So what's the third one?
Yeah, it's going to be funny. It's going to be interesting, not funny. But I've really tried to, after I went home again last night, trying to like, what is the table? Lord, what is something? And I just don't want to just say something.
Yeah.
It's like, Lord, what would you have me talk about? Because I don't know any of you, but I do want the best.
You probably do.
Maybe I do know some of you. Maybe some of you know me, and you're like, oh, Roxanne, you're just a goofball. But
Probably.
But, what is something important? What, and I don't want to come across as, hey, I've attained. I have not.
I don't think nobody is. Do that.
Nobody, no, especially if you know me. But what is something, and I just was pondering last night and thinking about things, and what table of the Lord really means something to me. And it was just more of this, I could give you my favorite verse. I could really have a conversation about, yesterday it was, the banqueting tables for us. What are you taking of them? But are you taking all that the Lord had for you? Because some of us pick and choose. But I started really pondering it. Yes, I have attributes of the Lord that mean something to me, and I will die on those hills knowing that He is always faithful and there's always hope. And I was thinking about that. I always find hope in no matter what the Lord has asked of me, even when we go through hard things, when we go through hard valleys.
Yeah.
I remind myself it's through the valley. It's never camped in the valley. Yeah. And there's still hope in that. Even though it's hard, I know there's a plan and there's a purpose. I'm not saying the Lord brought that to me, because a lot of times I brought it to myself, or I'm being stubborn, or there's things I'm going through. But I really started to think about how even in the darkest hours, there is hope.
Yeah.
And that is a table that means everything to me, because it's His, the attribute of who He is. Even when He calls me to the hard things. I had a great childhood. I had amazing parents. Were they perfect? No, but they were amazing. And they were trying. They followed the Lord and they tried the best of their ability. That's all we could really ask, right? They provided for me and they gave me a foundation of faith. But when the Lord called me to ministry, I said no. I said no a lot. And I wasn't going to do it because I started very young in school in all those special classes, right? I couldn't read. I couldn't write. I faked it till second grade. The teacher could say something and I could repeat it and I could kind of get my way through until I had a smart teacher who noticed a day or two later, I didn't know what she was talking about. I couldn't retake the test, or I couldn't explain anything because by then I'd forgot it. And I didn't know anything. And then we started this long, hard journey of a lot of hard work. It was a lot of tears. It was a lot of embarrassment. Because, I don't know if any of you remember the days where the special ed teacher would come to the door and call you and you would follow her out to go to your special ed time. Mm-hmm. It was embarrassing. And you know how kids are.
Yeah.
And I was chubby. So, I mean, I'm still not skinny, but I was a really chubby little girl. And it was just horrible, and I hated it. And then the Lord said, hey, Roxanne, you married a preacher. And I thought, that's good for him. I'm going to be a mama.
Side note, my mom dumped like a 6'7" basketball player for my short, round little dad. He wasn't round at the time, but she could have scored big. But she chose a preacher instead.
Yeah, I did. What the heck? Well, it's okay. But, you know, and it was like, Roxanne, you're going to preach. You've married this man. You need to step into ministry with him. 'Cause whether I said no or not, I still had the thought process that the two are one. And God does not call one, he calls two.
Yeah.
But it was like, okay, I can be the pastor's wife behind the scenes. I can do all that stuff. I'll take care of the kids. Right?
Yeah.
And in all of it, the faithfulness of the Lord. I mean, hello, would you have thought, I mean, really, would you have thought, or I would have thought, my parents probably would have never thought I'd have a school.
Yeah.
I'd be preaching.
Yeah.
I'd be doing any of that. I mean, I'm sure that somewhere in all their prayer time, they knew it was coming, because they always told me I could do anything with God, and he had great things for me. But,
and like, you get hand requests. They're like, Abby heard her, Jeff heard him, we want Roxanne now.
And it's just, that's, when I really think about it, it's a Savior. When I think about the table of the Lord, it's a Savior who says, you're not what the world has said you are.
Yeah.
You're not what they tried to label you as.
Yeah.
Because I had a mama who worked hard. Because they said, I would never graduate high school. I would never read. I would never write. Those are the things they told my mom. And she was like, no.
Yeah.
You don't know my God.
Come on.
And they worked hard. My mama worked hard. I spent hours every day sitting around my dining room table that I have in my house. It is in my house. There's tears probably still soaked in that wood that came from me, that I had to sit at and learn and take the time, and Mama's right here reading with me, helping me, and even having my daddy help me. And he never graduated high school.
Yeah.
He was severely dyslexic.
Yeah.
But he did learn how to read eventually for himself. When he'd write, I have his writing.
I have his Bible, yeah.
And it's phonetic.
Yeah.
And if you kind of have to
I can read it because I'm dyslexic.
And, but he would sit down and help me.
Yeah.
Flashcards like you cannot believe. Because I had parents who said, no, we believe she's a gift from God.
Yeah.
And we're going to do all we can to get her where she needs to be.
Yeah.
And that's the table that means something to me. That attribute of not giving up is the same attribute my Savior has.
Yeah.
He's not going to give up on us. When he calls us to something, it's not to scare us and have us run the other way. Is that he's faithful and there's hope in it. And he's going to get us there because it's never about us.
Yeah.
When we get really scared and nope, I'm out. Who did you disappoint in that? Who's waiting beyond your yes that's not going to get it because you were too afraid?
Yeah.
Like I told the class last night, sometimes even going into Deliverance now, you kind of have to throw your shoulders back when we go into a session, take a deep breath and go, okay, do it afraid. Do it anyways.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter how I feel in that, because I'm not going alone.
Yeah. It's not about you. It's never been about you.
It's never been about me. Yeah. And I'm not leading the charge anyway. I'm following.
Yeah.
And it's like, sometimes the situations people have gone through, and it can be kind of intimidating. I'm not going to say I have fear. There's a little trepidation sometimes, but it's not of what I'm going to do. I don't want to mess up.
Yeah.
And I don't want to leave them worse than I find them.
Yeah. It's good.
From the foundations of the earth. If you think he's known us that long, then the plans and the purposes he has for us, he made a plan and a purpose.
Yeah.
If you feel unknown by anybody, think about that. From the foundations of the earth, the creator of everything said he knows you.
Come on.
that right there should give you something to hold on to go, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I can.
Yeah.
I can move forward in this life because I'm not alone and I'm known. He sacrificed himself for me.
Come on.
Can I sacrifice myself for someone else?
Come on. That's so good. So we're going to end this one. We're going to go into our second one, which I'm really excited about. So stay tuned, guys. Like, subscribe, do all the stuff. You know how it goes. But we will see you for part 2. Bye.